Unpopular opinion. I love pathological liars. It's free entertainment. You ever been around one of them? They'll make up a lie about anything, and it's on the spot too. It's always off the dome, and it just flows, and always just nod and listen and stay engaged so they keep going. Because once they think you believe it, the story gets even better. And it's just always great to see the race against their brain and their mouth to come up with bullshit. And it always kind of feel like they know that you know that they is lying, but they don't care. And they just keep going because it's what they do best. I can't get enough of it, especially if I'm in the presence of a good liar. Ain't nothing like a good liar. A liar so good that it's like they believe they lie because it's so good. They done crafted their skill for years and years of just lying. It's almost so good that they could teach courses or sell them or something like that. Like it really be that good. There's people that suck at lying and they could literally sell them a course to get better at.
Have you ever felt sick to your stomach? I'm not talking about feeling nauseous, but sick to the point where you actually throw up. Well, did you know that vomiting in and of itself is not an illness? It's not. It's an indication that something more serious is going on inside your body. And vomiting, a symptom, is your body's way of letting you know you probably want to get that checked out. Well, the same holds true about lying. I'm talking about lying all the damn time. Lying because you're awake. Lying because it's Tuesday. Lying about small stuff, insignificant stuff, just lying to kick it. The clinical term for this type of behavior is a pathological liar. First off, let's talk about exactly what that is. Simply put, a pathological liar is someone who lies consistently and compulsively, usually without any obvious reason or gain. These lies can range from small exaggerations to elaborate fabricated stories that don't even align with anyone's reality. And what's unique about this is that they may lie even when there's no benefit or when telling the truth would actually be easier. A pathological liar might tell stories that sound believable, and sometimes they might even believe their own lies. It's not just about telling a lie every now and then. It's a habitual pattern of dishonesty, and is usually much more than a little white lie or a simple mistake. Now you might wonder, how is this condition diagnosed? Well, the truth is, pathological lying isn't recognized by mental health professionals as a specific disorder, but is sometimes considered a behavior associated with other disorders like antisocial personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, or even borderline personality disorder. You've probably heard of these before. Diagnosing a pathological liar involves a mental health professional assessing a person's behavior over time. Now, when I say over time, they are looking for a consistent pattern of dishonesty that's disproportionate to the situation and seems to have no clear purpose. I'm not talking about someone being caught up in a lie every now and then. I'll go out on a limb to say that we've all lied a time or two in our lives. And I'm not passing judgment, but the why isn't the focus here. It's the fact that pathological liars are dishonest so much that they develop a reputation of being a liar. They'll lie to you and they'll lie on you. A mental health professional will also look for underlying causes. For example, someone with low self-esteem or anxiety may lie to make themselves feel or appear more important or to avoid being judged. Sometimes lying could be tied to a history of trauma or an attempt to cope with difficult emotions, so the diagnosis might also involve understanding the root causes of the lying. But let's talk about treatment. So while there's no single guaranteed cure for pathological lying, treatment can actually help. The most common approach is psychotherapy or counseling. But first, the person has to admit that they struggle with telling the truth. And next, they have to actually seek help. They have to want the help. Cognitive behavioral therapy, known as CBT, is used to help a person understand their behavior and their thought patterns. In CBT, people learn to recognize why they lie and how to challenge those patterns. They also develop healthier ways to cope with their emotions instead of just resorting to dishonesty. For some people, talk therapy can help them look into their past experiences, like childhood trauma or low self-esteem, which might be the driving force behind the lying. Maybe they felt that lying during those experiences helped them to keep themselves or someone that they love safe. That is, by not telling the truth or snitching on their perpetrator. Addressing these underlying issues can be key to improving their behavior. It starts somewhere. If the pathological lying is tied to a specific mental health disorder, like anxiety or depression, treatment for that disorder, whether it's therapy or medication, it could also help reduce the lying behavior. But the big question is, can it be cured? Unfortunately, there's no definitive cure for pathological lying. However, with the right treatment and a strong commitment to change, a person can manage the behavior and reduce the frequency of their lies. It's at least a start, right? Treatment can actually help individuals recognize the impact of their lies on their relationships and in their daily lives. It gives them a tool to develop healthier habits and build trust with other people over time. But it does take a lot of work, and the progress can be slow. In some cases, it might take years of therapy to see real change, and the individual needs to be willing to confront their lying behavior and be open to changing their ways. And that can be tough as well. But to summarize, pathological lying is a compulsive behavior that's oftentimes linked to deeper emotional issues. While there isn't a quick cure, treatment can help people learn to manage their behavior, improve their relationships, and live more honestly. Sometimes we have to deal with pathological liars because we're tied to them in some way. It could be through marriage, kinship, friendships, or even business relationships. Dealing with a pathological liar can be so frustrating, especially if their lies impact your trust or even your emotional well-being. I'd like to offer a few suggestions on how you can handle them. First of all, you're going to need to recognize their pattern of lying. Pathological liars will lie compulsively, even about trivial things. Instead of getting caught up in their stories, just observe their patterns. Do they lie to gain sympathy, avoid responsibility, or to control situations? Next, you have to resist the urge to engage in arguments over the lies. Calling them out on every lie might make them defensive and lead to even more deception. Instead, try to stay calm and only address the lies that directly affect you or others close to you. If their lying creates a problem for you, establish some boundaries. Let them know that dishonesty isn't acceptable in your relationship, whether that be personal or professional. And next, you're going to want to verify information before acting on it. Don't take their words at face value. We know we can't do that, but double check the important facts, especially if their lies could lead to serious consequences. And next, you're going to want to avoid enabling the behavior. If you constantly forgive or ignore their lies, they'll never feel the need to change. Make it clear that honesty is expected and that repeated deception will have consequences. Now, this is a touchy one, but you could also consider encouraging them to seek professional help. Pathological lying, as I stated earlier, it can be linked to mental health conditions like personality disorders. Encourage the person to seek therapy, but be prepared for resistance. They may not see their lying as a problem or even admit to lying at all. Now, these last two suggestions are the most important in my opinion. and that is to protect yourself emotionally. Interacting with a habitual liar can be mentally exhausting. Maintain emotional distance and don't let their deception affect your sense of peace or decision making. And finally, know when to walk away. If their lies are toxic or damaging, the best course of action is to limit contact or, if possible, cut ties altogether. Your mental health and well-being should come first. Now, if you're out there stressing or being bothered over a pathological liar that you don't have any connections to, well, I'm not sure to tell you what to do then, but choices do lead to consequences. Is it worth it? I don't know. You be the judge. So in closing, I just want to say this. Dealing with a pathological liar ain't easy, but protecting your peace and setting clear boundaries is key. And remember, you can't control their behavior, but you can control how much space they take up in your life. Stay aware. Stay firm. And don't let deception dictate your reality. And if you just so happen to be blogging on a pathological liar, then keep applying pressure. When they see that you're calling them out on their lies and not letting anything slip, well, they'll get clever. No, they ain't going to stop lying, but they'll make sure that you scramble harder to uncover the lies. They'll find new and different ways of lying. Keep your proverbial foot on their neck because, as we all know, real receipts don't lie, especially when it's in 4K. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.